All right, for today, I don't really have a lesson, so we're just going to go ahead and look at the homework. I'm going to get y'all started and do a couple of with you, so make sure you're paying attention, you're showing your work and doing all those things. But let's get started. So everyone should have the paper titled Direct Variation 201. Looks similar to yesterday's. So let's start by looking at number one. It says Misha bought an energy efficient washing machine. The amount of water she saves per wash load compared to her old washing machine is shown in the table. Is this relationship a direct variation? Well, remember, direct variation means I have the same y over x for every row. So we can use our Desmos calculator, so you can pull that up if you need. So 12 divided by 1, because remember this is x and this is y. 12 divided by 1 is 12. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 60 divided by 5 is 12. And 72 divided by 6 is also 12. So is this a direct variation relationship? Yes. And we can say we know that, or we'll say yes because y over x is the same. So remember, if I'm writing on my paper, you need to be doing the same work on yours. B says, write the equation that describes the relationship. Well, remember, we start equations with y equals my constant of variation, constant of proportionality, k value, whatever you want to call it, was 12. So we're going to write it as y equals 12x. C asks, determine how much water you need to wash 8 loads. Well, 8 loads would be here, and we need to figure out how much water. So 8 is my x. So here, I'm going to plug in 8 for x and multiply by 12 to get y. Well, I can use my calculator, or I can just multiply that 12 times 8 is 96. So we'll say 96 gallons. 96 gallons. All I did is I plugged it into my equation and solved. All right, number 2. Does the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 1 represent direct variation? Well, this should be super easy. Hopefully, we noticed this constant being added because remember, direct variation also meant proportional. So we can say no, because this equation has a constant. Remember, the constant is the number that's being added or subtracted onto the end of the equation. So that should have been a super easy. All right, I'm going to do number 3 with you, and then I'm going to let you finish working on this on your own. Number 3. The number of calories varies directly with the number of grams of protein. Remember, when I see those words, that immediately tells me it is proportional. I can see it here because it touches 0, 0. Write a direct variation equation that represents or describes the relationship. So first of all, I need to figure out a y over x. Now, I've got several points along this line, and I can use any of them, but I suggest using the points that are on the crosshairs, and I mean by that, like where all these grid lines intersect. So for example, this one here would not be a good one to use because it's in the middle of these 2 vertical lines. I don't want that. But this one's a good one. And this one is a good one. So we can use either one of those. They're going to give me the same answer. So if I use this one, it comes down on my x-axis between 4 and 6, so it's 5. And here on my y-axis is at 20. If I divide 20 divided by 5, I get 4. Therefore, my equation is y equals 4x. Part B says use your equation to determine the number of calories from 25 grams of protein. Well, the first thing I want to figure out is grams. Where does that fall? Is that my X or is that my Y? Now, Y says calories from protein. My X just says protein with a G. Well, that G means grams, so therefore this number represents my X. So if here was my equation, I'm going to take this number and plug it in for X. Now, if I use my Desmos, I can type 4 times 25, although for me, 25 makes me think of quarters. And 4 quarters is $1, which is 100 cents. So Y equals 100. My Y value, my Y axis was calories, so we'll say calories. For the remainder of class, I want you to finish numbers 4 through 11 on the back. If you finish early, and you did not finish yesterday's homework, you need to get that done as well. If you've already turned in yesterday's homework, you can get it back if you need to finish it. But both pages, this and yesterday's, will be due tomorrow and it will be picked up for a grade. So make sure that you get it completed and you get it turned in no later than tomorrow.